Hello guys, Sean Voggett here, welcome back to another video. Champions League draw today. Obviously it's a new format, so it's a bit different. So it means that you play 4 teams away from home and 4 teams at home. But it'll be the same 4 teams that'll be in your group. So basically, if you finish in the top 8, you go through to the last 16. And if you come between 9 and 24, then you go into the playoff round. Obviously, it goes from 36 teams to 24. No, from 32 teams to 36, sorry. I think City's got a good chance of winning it this year. Obviously, I think Madrid are the favourites because obviously they won it last year and they've got Mbappe. But City will feel hurt after last year, losing to Real Madrid in our own stadium on penalties. And we're by far the better team in that game and we deserve to go through. But the thing is, with the Champions League, the best side doesn't always go through. And it's the same with knockout football in general, really. In any kind of knockout football, club football or internationally. Where the best side doesn't always go through. Obviously, sometimes it does happen. But it's not like one of those things like in the league where the best side always wins. Like in terms of like winning the league title. In like knockout football, some of the time, a decision can go a team's way and it can give them momentum, and then the team that it goes against can end up struggling from that point on for the lack of momentum. So it's difficult to win a cup competition. It's more difficult to win a cup competition than to win a league title, really. Because the best side doesn't always win it, but you do have to be more consistent to win a league title than you have to be to win a European Cup. I think it looks like City's not going to sign any more players. Because there was talk of us trying to get an Alvarez replacement, but that's sort of all gone down the hill now. And the reports are saying that we're not going to sign anyone. Whether that means that we're going to spend more money in January or save it for like the next summer when there's more players that we actually want that are willing to come to the club, who knows, but that should be interesting. Time will tell whether that's the correct decision or the wrong decision, but I trust Pep, I trust Soriano, and I trust Khaldoon. Because 9 times out of 10, they make the correct decisions. So you have to have faith in there. Obviously, we've got Watford in the Carabao Cup at home. We should go through in that one. But in cup competitions, if Watford do get the first goal, who knows? Anything can happen. And they could surprisingly shock the world and knock us out. But that Carabao Cup draw was quite straightforward for a lot of Premier League clubs. Other than West Ham, I expect all the Premier League clubs to go through because they've got pretty favourable draws. How many trophies are City going to win this season? I reckon at least 3. The only one I have a bit of doubt of is the Champions League because Real Madrid maybe slightly have more squad depth than us going into competition this year compared to us. Because I think our bench in like recent games hasn't been the greatest. So that worries me if we get like quite a few injuries or like there's like games that we come across in Europe where our first 11's not doing a lot, but we've got no one really on the bench to come on and make a difference. So we've got to sort of keep with the same 11. I reckon we've got a good chance in the Carabao Cup because we haven't won that for a few years, so we should be hungry to get that back. I think we've got a good chance winning the FA Cup because we're going to want to win that after losing the final last year. And I reckon we're still the favourites to win the Premier League. Arsenal will be there or thereabouts. Liverpool have made some good signings like Chiesa. And Arsenal got that Calafiori decent signing. But Arsenal still haven't invested where they really need. And that's a striker. There's that Tony that looks like he's available at Brentford, but he might be going to Saudi Arabia or to Chelsea. There's Dusan Blahovic, who Arsenal haven't really looked at. Alexander Isak, but I don't think he's going to leave Newcastle. Especially not to go to another club in England. I think if he did leave Newcastle, he'd go to like a European big club, like PSG or something. But I think we're going to win the league, I think. 5 in a row is happening. Because even though Arsenal do look good, I still don't think that they're going to be able to score enough goals to win the league. Because last season they did beat a lot of the big... Not the big teams, sorry. They did beat a lot of the small clubs by like big scores. But they were still lucky... I can't get my words out. Hang on. Let me start over again. They were still lacking that killer instinct in the box to score their chances when they were in games like Aston Villa away when they lost 1-0, Aston Villa at home they lost 2-0, West Ham at home 2-0 I think it was as well, Tottenham at home when they drew 2-2. If they had a striker on the pitch they could have won that game. And they still need to like sort out their mentality a bit, because when they went to the Etihad last year and when they went to Anfield, they were celebrating like draws as like wins, and that's what you can't afford to do when you want to win a Premier League title. You've got to have a winning mentality, and you can't be celebrating draws in games like that, because you've got to be determined to win those games and not draw them. Obviously, there's going to be games where you can't win, so you have to take the draw because it's better than getting no points. But you can't be celebrating a draw as a win if you want to win a league title. That's just embarrassing. But I do think the top 4 is quite wide open this year, because in the Premier League. Because I think City and Arsenal are the only ones I think are more or less guaranteed to be in the top 4. Because even though Liverpool have had a good start, we've got to remember that they've played Ipswich away and Brentford at home. That's 2 games that you would expect them to win, really, and they should have got 6 points, and they did. So unless they start winning games that I think are a bit like 50-50 kg games in terms of odds of them winning or losing, then I've still got them in my top 4, but I still don't think they're like a guarantee to be in the top 4, if that makes any sense whatsoever. And I think people are sleeping on Tottenham because I think that Solanke's a good signing. I don't really know why Arsenal didn't really look at him. They've got a Doggy, they've got Basuma, they've got Maddison, got Richarlison. They've got a decent squad, Tottenham. So they could get into the top 4. Aston Villa. I've seen some people give some wild predictions of Aston Villa, like saying that they're going to come like second and stuff like that. No chance that happens. I'm telling you, there is going to be a drop-off from Aston Villa, because they're not going to be able to compete for the Champions League and the Premier League. They haven't got the squad to do it. So unless they get knocked out of the Champions League quite early, then I don't see them coming anywhere near the top 4, because their squad's not deep enough to do both. But I do think Bayer Leverkusen's a dark horse for that Champions League, you know. I do think they're a dark horse. Can Chelsea get top 4? The thing is, I'm still not sure whether Chelsea are going to have that consistency. Because last year, they dropped points against a lot of teams down the lower ranks of the table. So if they want to get into the top 4, they need to stop doing that. And I don't know if Maresca's the one, to be honest. Because, yeah, he did very well at Leicester. But the Championship, although I do think it is quite underrated in terms of the league, it's not on the level of Premier League, nowhere near. So, it's yet to be seen whether he can hack it in the Premier League. Man United, it's another funny one because they're very hot and cold. They tend to win a lot of games that you don't expect them to win. But then when anything's on the line, when anything's on the line, well, not anything on the line. What's the word? Whenever they get like written off against like the big teams, they tend to get a result. But whenever it's the game against like a lower ranked team and you expect them to win, they lose or they draw. But in a lot of games, they tend to get battered in terms of chances and possession. So I did predict them to come in the top 4, but they could very easily come 7th or 8th. But anyway, that's the end of the video. Like, share, subscribe. Appreciate the support on the videos recently, especially the videos that I made at that Ipswich game. And I'll do a reaction to the draw when it happens, the Champions League draw, because it's at 5 o'clock today. So have a nice day, take care, and enjoy yourself. My ear's really sore though, I don't know what it is. And I've got quite a lot of pains, but anyway, I still thought I'd make this video for you guys, because I haven't done a video for a few days. But anyway, have a good one. Love for the love.